How about we continue this, huh? Okay, last time we were here, I had finished fully making up Draco and Cream. Draco being the very large, towering black dragonborn, and Cream, the small white Hingyokai cat. Now, I talked a lot last week. Last week? Might have been last week. I talked a lot about Draco. So this week, I thought I would talk a bit about Cream. So, Cream is what we call a Hingyokai in 4th edition. Yes, I play 4th edition. Get over it. Hingyokai are a wonderful race that have the ability to swap between a humanoid, a humanoid form, an animal form, and a hybrid form. And what is pictured here is the hybrid form. So I just want to make sure I get that gray that likes to pop up there behind the neck. Now, Cream, let me tell you a little bit about Hingyokai, actually, because Hingyokai are a very interesting race. They have what is known as a Fey origin, and Fey creatures have some interesting qualities to them. First of all, Fey creatures... Whoops, didn't mean to do that. First of all, Fey creatures have an aversion to... Hingyokai have an aversion to the same things that Fey creatures do. Now, Fey creatures don't like cold iron. They also don't care too much for silver. Now, silver is a little less detrimental to them. I believe she had blue eyes. Silver is a little less detrimental than cold iron, but cold iron a Hingyokai cannot handle at all. Silver, it can be kind of handled, but not so much anything else can be done with it. Now, one thing we want to take a look at real quick is I want to... Oh. The eyebrows are just... Can't change the eyebrows with a... Can't change the eyebrows with a cat face. Right. Now, Cream does not have so much of an extensive backstory as Draco does. My wife, who played the character, likes to keep her things pretty simple. She rarely adds any heavy complication to her characters, which I respect that. Now, that doesn't mean that her characters are just simple characters. They can be very complex in some aspects if you're looking at them right, which is interesting. But Cream was a fairly simple character in general. Diamond looks good. Let's see. Colors, we're probably in... Sorry about that. Those reds really pop on the, oh, I did not get that. Gray that's back there, apparently. It doesn't look like it's gonna let me get it, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. Really not too sure what to go with here. Let's give her a nice silver. And brown and forest green. So let's find that's pretty green eyes. See what we're looking at for how we can do black here. Bit more black than we'd like, but it'll do. Let's go back to the hair, because Airforge minis never really take on whites super well. It seems to almost take away detail. Claws do not do this justice, I have to say. Nope, this is for extra. Yeah. Normally I would go with claws or something of the sort, but that just looks a little better. We'll still go with the white. And you know what? Let's actually get rid of the gloves. And can we add some coloration to this? No? Not gonna let us? See, that's a shame. Because normally you're able to just sort of add some, there you go, some like black into the palm. Which makes sense for something that has a hybrid form. Just add some black into the palm, make it look a bit more like paw pads. I wonder if we can throw that back on. A little too fuzzy, isn't it? I don't know why it's decided to swap the colors there. Wish I actually had more to say about Cream, because she was a very fun character to watch be played. It's a very pleasant character. I just realized that this whole time I haven't been doing stuff that I was supposed to be doing. Let me get some lights up in here real quick, so this isn't so unresponsive. Wrong lights. There we go. We will turn this on. Well, that's not really in frame. There we go. Much better. However, no. This app is irritating. There we go. Much better. Gonna move around a little bit more. Sorry about the noise. Just pulling my slide out real quick. Not so sure. Give her a bit of coloration there. Now, do they get... No, it doesn't look like the feline gets much to the lips, but that is just fine. Throw that into the gums, just for minor detail. That's okay, that gives a little bit more definition to the fur texture. Not a lot, but a little bit. Well, what do we want to go with here? How about, because Avandra has very definitive colors. From what I have been shortly told is that Avandra's colors are more browns and greens. So let's... No, that's a bit too... This... bit too, mustard yellow, isn't it? So let's go with a nice... That looks good. So we're gonna do different colors for the cloth. colors for the cloth, different colors for the fur and the leathers. For now, we're gonna start out. Get a nicer. That's a nicer brown. So that's some of the cloth, I believe. Nope, that's all leather bindings. I believe that's cloth underneath there. See if we can just barely define those two colors from each other. Yeah, there we go. That looks nice. Let's set that in the center. Just a small difference in detail. So let's get the browns on the boots. What we'll do is we'll take this, put that right along the top. Actually, probably nope, I think I like that one better. So we'll do that. Get the fuck out of my chat. Yeah, you fucking get him. Where'd that fox go? Okay, that gives a little bit more definition to that. Oh god. Oh, I got into the lighting. Oh, I must have gotten to the glow from the stone. Whoops. Now, let's take that brown. We're just going to pop it on down here. Because what we want to do is we kind of want to just add definitions to the different types of leathers and cloths and furs that we have here. So for these leather straps that go around the stomach, go for a lighter touch. Something that looks a little, how it's got the lighter bits at the ends of it. And for this, we've got a good green metallic. Looks nice right there. We can do the same thing for this. Now, we still got a couple leather straps. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, so we're gonna go ahead and hit those real quick. I think that's most of the outfit done. Should probably match that just so that there's not a weird thing going on right there. It's gonna look weird in general, but that's okay. It's got the soap on a rope over here, so we'll just make that look a little weathered, a bit more rope-ish. That one looks good. I like that. Now these have, oh, the rim of the bottle takes the color, which is a little bit of a shame. So we're actually going to take the what is that? Sandrock Bluff. It's not too much of a difference, but it does, well, maybe. Let's see what we can do, because there's multiple options of things we could use for rope. Nope. You know what? You can see a difference if you look. As long as you look. It's kind of what's important. Like, I'm painting here. Just look at it. Okay, and we've got bottle options. So this, I think there's a yellow. So this is supposed to be healing potion. I don't like that color. I'm not a fan of that color at all. So what's that? Yes, that's just a worse version of this here. Look. It's a worse version with the colors swapped. Let's go for a red. That one looks good. That looks just fine. So actually if we add a bit more. Just add a little bit more definition to him. So, Cream was a cleric. She was a very good cleric. Her main priority, which was built very well, was healing. As clerics are wont to do. So get that fur. Just kind of give her like some green furs on the armor. Thankfully, she's a pretty simple character to paint. Not a whole lot going on to her overall style when it comes down to it. Huh. Oh, that's odd. Oh, that's for the gym. Let's see if we can't find some more pleasant greens, actually. So we're looking for some forest greens, which aren't necessarily so bright. And that's supposed to be a pretty dark green, but it's not really touching that spot that I want. Oh, no. Solid maybe. We'll come back to that one. If we can't find anything better, that might be it. Because we don't want an in-your-face kind of green. We want something that's simple. That could be it. Let's see what we could do. Oof. That was bright in your face. So was that, for that matter. Well, those are fires, so. Now, one of the things that I generally like to do is not really focus too much on what's being used, what material is being used for coloration, because there's so much you can do. Right, like you don't really have to stick to like cloths and leathers for the coloration patterns, because you might find something in skulls that hits better than you could ever find in paints or leather or cloth, or even for like, you know, this. Thank you for freezing and telling me that I had a low battery warning, but I don't think that was necessary. Thanks, though. 1 second. Let me charge that up. Or at least get it on a charger. I'm sure it'll tell me here in about 5 minutes after I plug it in that it's got a low battery because iPhone is dumb. There we go. But that's okay. I'll deal with that problem when I come to it. There we go. Perfect. Glad that didn't come up on stream. Solid. Yeah, you know what? What were we looking at before? We were looking at. See that one? See, that one's actually not bad right there. That one is bad. Some colors are just generally harder to get to. I think we're gonna go with this. This seems like a better forest green. Nice face mask. Oh, absolutely. Aren't you supposed to be sleeping? Pretty sure I told you to sleep. Okay, let's go ahead and get her crossbow. Oh, I totally forgot about her cloak. Let's put a nice black on the inside of that. Now I don't want to spend too much time painting cream because there is a whole ass dragon to paint behind her. But I'm definitely gonna try to make it look good. Now, maybe a good pine? Or ooh, do mahogany. Mahogany. If you don't know that reference, go watch Team 4 Star. Right now. Just, it's fine. You can come back. Just watch the VOD. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm really not. Go. He says to his one viewer. So, walnut, implank, beech, oak. Oak pine, oak pine. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get that. That looks good in oak. Let's get some mulch brown for that, and for this, let's go with, yeah, a little bit of grayish white. There we go. That looks way better. And how about a good iron? Not cold iron. Iron. Because if you recall, cold iron, that hurts. So, just basic iron. And I think that is... oh, I'm missing the black on the bottom of her boots. Boots. Looks like I've also missed the straps on the back of the boots. Never be afraid to put in detail that others may not necessarily see. Now, the reason why I say that is that details matter. Details will always matter. Now, that doesn't mean that everything has to be perfect. But if you want to make something that is truly astounding, focusing on the fine details can make a genuine difference on what you're making. Now, let's give her spell a little life. We'll go with something darker at the bottom and nice and bright. Maybe a good green at the top. Oh, the blue. Well, that blue looks good. That blue does look good. Seems to mix in well with the rest of the yellow, so I'm thinking that may be the way to go. So yeah, this is what I mean by using different kinds of colors, because, you know, for something like this, it definitely looks like it should just be a regular spell. But it's kind of got that, like, smoky look of things. So we want to give it that feeling of being a spell. However, that glass coloration isn't necessarily going to drop its quality at all. Because spells can look like anything. Magic is a strange and finicky thing. So adding weird textures and colors to what you're making can add an interesting dynamic. Now, it's supposed to be a healing spell. And I've always seen healing spells and potions as yellows, pinks, reds in some cases, but, you know, lighter reds. Not necessarily pink, but like salmon, for instance. So I think that is cream. Done and done. Not much color to her, besides her, magic and things of the sort. You know what, let's see what we can do here, because we can add just a bit more definition to her by keeping her a white, just a more creamy white. Look at that defined edge on that. Oh, I've never used that there, but that looks very pleasant. I'm gonna have to keep that one in mind for future builds if I have any circlets or anything of the sort, because that's really cute. I like that. Alright, well, that is cream. Done up and done. For sure this time, I promise. Now, we move to the main course, which is this monstrous being that is Draco Dominus. Now this one is going to be interesting because I actually do like using the draconic, or as it puts it, lizard colors for Draco here. Because this generally matches what a black dragon sort of looks like. So giving these greens kind of to the inner edges. How about we go with this? Now, black dragons, I believe. You know what, let's actually look this up, because I'm not necessarily sure what black dragon eyes are supposed to look like. I'm pretty sure they're red. Yes, they are red. And they are a bit more blacker than this, but frankly I think this looks nice. Doesn't make him any less of a black dragon, and dragons can have differences in them. They're not necessarily exactly how they are by the book. You know, I can do that and add a bit of black just here and there. And these are fleshy bits. It's always easier for me to start with the head. I always feel like I get a good base of things when starting with the head. So what we'll do here, we should change up the lighting a bit, is those horns are going to be more of a blackish and white on the end. So we're going to go through and actually put in the base coloring real quick. So that should have ran that through everything. And on top of that base coating, we're going to give him a bit more of a... I don't like how that looks. It just cuts off right there and goes to a different color. Can't say I'm a big fan of that. So let's actually go to the hair. Now, see, that's a much more defined black and white on those horns, but the other works very well for his, I suppose you could call them auxiliary horns. And once you put the salt and pepper on, it defines the blacks a little bit more on these, where these just look better fully salt and peppered. I see people popping in and out of the chat here and there. Welcome. My name is Raven. We're just painting some miniatures of characters that me and my wife have played in our friends' D&D campaigns. Hope you stick around. You're welcome to grab a cup of tea, sit down, have a snack, relax, and just kind of have a nice chill vibe with me. And we're gonna go back down here. We're gonna grab the black dragon bits. Now for the undertail, we want something a little different. I'm thinking just going with black for the undertail. That feels good to me. So we'll do black for the bottom, black for the top, and we're kind of gonna go through and do the same thing with the spikes that we did with the horns. We're gonna go with the salt and pepper, and we're just gonna kind of define. See, even though the fin in between the tail is definitely black, you can still see the very defined black and white throughout the bone protrusions in the tail, which is one thing that I really like. Now, Draco wore armor that was called Stoneborn armor, and Stoneborn armor had an interesting effect to it. There we go, some menacing red eyes and this big evil looking dragon that this little Henji-yokai cat girl is just staring up at lovingly. Now, what was I saying? Ah, right. He wore Stoneborn armor. And Stoneborn armor was really interesting because it had an ability, sorry, it had an enchantment that you could activate on it that would just give you temporary HP. And I believe how he started out is he started out with level 2 or level 3 Stoneborn, which, if I recall, gave 30 to 40 health whenever activated. Now, at one point, he lost this armor, which was a genuine shame, because it's very good armor. And I'm still going to be a little bitter about it, because I'm a bitter person. But we're gonna kind of sparse out that armor a little bit, if we can, here. So we're going to add different shades of stone and grays and blacks, and just kind of give the feeling of a more rocky edged sort of thing here. I'm not necessarily sure this is going to work out super well, but we're going to do it anyway. Doesn't look bad. I'm happy with it. Rain-drenched precipice of darkness. What edgy fuck thought up that name? I'm gonna use it, but what edgy motherfucker thought of that? We're actually going to do a little bit less of the grays. Because for starters, Draco was not a nice person. Draco was a... oh dear. Draco started out as an incredibly evil character that would just murder you. Like, for fun. Now, he wasn't brutish or stupid. He was clever. He was smart. He had military training and shit like that. He was a clever individual. But if you were in his way, he did not give a fuck about your life. He had no fucks to give about you, your life, your family's life, or anything you stood for. You were in his way, you were just kinda fucked. But you know, frankly, if you stood in the way of this, staring you down, you wouldn't catch me praying for you. Because at that point, your prayers have been answered, and those prayers were to death. Like, I am sorry, but you made your choice. And that choice was to be murdered. Did I say murder? I don't know if I can say that. We're gonna pretend that it's okay. Just for right now, we're gonna pretend that it's okay and move on. You know, I was never really sure of what to go with for his hands, because he definitely had big old dragon claws, but never really used them. You know, he didn't necessarily need to. He had a big axe. Why use claws when you got a big old axe? I got plenty of fabric that's showing underneath here, so... they have some good orange things. They've got orange doesn't rhyme. And there was another one that I had seen, which is just nothing rhymes with orange. So they went through and like named all these, and they're very clever. You know, mild melon, fun sun cotton, princess purple. Copious? Copious? Copa. I don't know. Princely pink. Actual gold. Goldenrod squad, fleecy fuchsia. And it's just orange doesn't rhyme. And I appreciate that. Hey, Fixify, how are you doing, buddy? Welcome. Happy to see you here. Go with the cognac. These are just like darker browns for the straps and everything. That's good. I'm happy to hear it. Welcome to me probably procrastinating from doing things that I should be. There we go. We'll just go ahead and get all the strapping that is on him if we can. I like that too, because that looks like a good point for leather. It's probably not, but I'm going to say it is. So, shut up. Don't worry about it. I don't necessarily want to do all of his cloth in red, but that actually looks really good underneath that. That red makes a good undertone. Let's grab that color real quick and pop it right up under there. Let's see, you know, this is the part that I love to just sit and look at the mini for a second, because when this started, these were all just totally gray, like this, right, like that gray right there. But now it's like it's fleshed out, like it's got real life into it. And this is like about the part that I like to sit for a second and just kind of look at the character, because it's really just coming to life slowly and it looks really nice. Oh god, why did my model do that? All I was doing was taking a drink. Jesus Christ, calm the fuck down. Fucking take a drink of water. My model's just like, oh, looks like my neck's broken. Would you fucking look at that? Alright, let's get back into it. So a lot of the colors that we have here are actually just colors that I'm going to continue to roll with. Because they kind of set a full theme for the character overall, and it's really just easier to go. Fuck. Sorry. It's kind of just easier to go with what has been started instead of building more onto where you don't necessarily need it, you know? Like, build away. Like, that, if that's what you're into, fucking go for it. But I am a fan of keeping to a general amount of simplicity. Hopefully when we're done here, I can start working on, depending on what time it is. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of time. There is another dual character that is going to be very fun to pose up and just kind of put together. Let's get... Oh, I've got the perfect shit for that. I gotta put this on now or I'll forget later, so... And the reason why I say that is a perfect thing is because Broham did not clean his weapons very often. So when he would get blood and shit like that on his axes and whatever, he would like maybe dunk them in some water after, like, to clean them off, sort of. But he would not go out of his way to clean and like polish his shit. It was, well, that's good enough. Moving on. I will say, I don't remember what his axe was. which kind of bothers me because I felt like this axe was super dope. It was the one that I used the most, and then I used this one later on, and we'll once I get to this and start working on it, we'll talk about it. Because this axe is interesting. This axe technically doesn't exist with Draco's Stoneborn armor, which is what I'm building here. Now there's a reason for that. And it is a little weird, so bear with me. So, in the Abyss, in D&D's Abyss, there are hundreds of layers, right? Now, the reason why that's important is that we found ourselves on a layer in the Abyss that was brightly colored, had fields of green and colors to them beyond imagine. It was the layer of heaven. Now, this is not heaven. This is not the astral sea where a good soul goes when it dies. But it is weirdly one of the very few good layers in the Abyss. Because you could find yourself there. And if you did, well, you were pretty set because heaven wasn't too bad. Not as much demonic shit going on in heaven. Now the gatekeepers, interestingly enough, were demons. The being that resided there was demonic in origin. And this is where it's all interesting, because it was a heaven in the Abyss is a place of demonic origin, which is wild. Because, you think of heaven, you think of winged angels and harp music and trumpets, maybe. Not demons and shit like that just being there. So, what had happened is we had to pass very particular trials. And these trials, most of them were really fucking traumatic. Like, our DM, Lycris, had to just sort of take a moment after everything that had gone on in the Abyss, be like, so you guys doing okay? You good? We good? Everyone having fun? Okay, good. Moving on. So, Draco, in the Abyss, he was given a vision. He was given a vision of this poor little cream here, dead. Simple as that. Dead. And his trial was to let go. I very distinctly remember not dealing with that trial very well. Like, myself, put me in a pretty bad headspace at the time. But that's a it's a whole different story. What did I use for that? Oh, nope, don't want to do that. that right? Not what that is. We're gonna go down. You know what? That's what I should be using right there. So, at the end of those trials, we were granted particular boons. And we're able to request our boons. Well, I, as Draco, asked for my armor to be much more powerful. Essentially, I wanted to bring it from a level 3 set of armor to a level 5 set of armor. Now, here's why that was a bad idea. Is that we were still in the abyss. And yes, I got better armor, but it was cursed. Because, you know, that's what happens when you ask for things in the abyss. Who'd have thunk? So yes, the equipment that I got for that was 100% cursed. And whenever I used the ability, it would turn parts, just randomly, turn parts of my character into stone. Essentially trying to petrify me. Now the reason for this is that, unbeknownst to me at the time, my armor had gained sentience and was not happy with me because for years Draco who was a warlord that would roam across the deserts and just wipe out cities, towns, villages, anything, just because he could. Now, his armor had been stained many, many, many times over with the blood of his victims. Now, that did not gain its sentience, no. But there is a story of how things over time just kind of gain memories. Doesn't necessarily mean that they can use those memories, but they gain memories. And that's exactly what the armor did over time. Well, that's bad because Draco's armor remembered everything. Once it gained that valuable sentience, understood that for years Draco just hung it up. Threw it off to the side like, oh, we ain't warring no more and you forgot about me. Okay, motherfucker. And after gaining that sentience from being granted a boon of more powerful armor from the layer of the abyss known as heaven, you know, it was cursed. It was like, fuck you, dude. Your days are numbered now. Go on, keep using me. If you don't use me, I'll use myself. Which happened once or twice and was frightening. We'll go with... how about a gray? Got a good gray? How about a lighter gray? Sorry, I'll get back to it in a second. Just trying to decide on things. Okay, so obviously the armor had to go. Unfortunately, the armor also didn't want to come off. Because it was like, well, you're not fucking throwing me away a second time. No, fuck that. I'm not going. So we had to, unfortunately, disenchant it. So that armor is now gone. That's the end of it. But it was turned into something that is called residuum. Residuum dust, specifically. And that residuum dust can still be used for enchanting other items, except the residuum dust that came from the armor was different. Different to a point where it couldn't be used on other things, or those other things could be given that same sentience. Which was genuinely malicious. So, Draco's thought was, well, if it's gonna hurt me, let's turn it into something that hurts other people. That works. Let's do that. And that's where this gorgeous axe came in. But we're not there yet. This shield was known as a stonewall shield. Now, the stonewall shield was such a fun item to use. The reason for that is when planting it down, this massive tower shield, it would make a 15-foot wall in front of... it was 15 feet wide and I believe 15 feet tall as well. Just like a 15-foot square wall right in front of Draco. Which was dope. Had about 5 feet of thickness. Dope ass wall. Use that ability a lot. Whole point of it was to either help defend other allies or to route enemies into different areas. But that's not what you want to hear about. You want to hear about the axe. So let's talk about the axe. The axe's name, in the end, was Dragon's End. Something that I and the weapon agreed upon. Now, Dragon's End was very much sentient and could speak. In the form of armor, it didn't have the ability to speak. But as a weapon, it had full understanding of its surroundings. And hated, absolutely hated Draco. Was not a fan. Trying to find a better black for this. I need just a pure black. Can you give me that? Can you just give me a pure black? No? Okay. Hated Draco. Now, the abilities that this axe had were dope. It would just hit harder. Just because. If I use this ability, it would actually drain health from my character. And I could drain however much I wanted at some point. In the beginning, it was like, nah, I'm taking whatever the fuck I want from you and any dose that I want from you. Which sucked, but it was still cool. So it'd take all the health that it wanted, but all the health that it took, it would deal that damage to the enemy that I was attacking. And that's what made it dope. The latex is so shiny. It's so shiny. I like it. I don't like it here, but I like it. God damn it, why has it gotta be so shiny? That fake poop. That's fake poop. I have a fake poop cloak. Yeah, that's good enough. Just wanted different blacks. Now, it really wasn't until the end of the campaign where there was some type of understanding between Draco and Dragon's End. And during the last fight of the campaign, Dragon's End, when its ability was used, it didn't actually take any health from Draco, but still dealt out an absolute fuck ton of damage. Now, on Dragon End's part, there was a reason for that. Its ultimate reason was, well, we're finally fighting again. We're being used... I'm being used as a weapon again. Maybe I'm going to be able to keep being used as a weapon. Eventually, that didn't continue. Which didn't really work out in his favor. He probably should have kept damaging Draco. But yeah, that is Dragon's End, and that's why it is such a special weapon, and that's why I want to take distinctive care on how I color it, because it is a sentient weapon. It is a very evil sentient weapon, but it is a sentient weapon and deserves respect and the coloration to match its design. That's right, I'm really just trying to find shit that... Ooh. Maybe? Yeah, that looks good. That looks edgy as fuck. That tracks. And there we have it. Oh, shit, I forgot the base. Fuck. Oh, god. Damn. Fuck. Shit. No. Cobble brown and embers and fucking... Oh, shit. I'm ruining everything. Some moss rocks, I guess. Fuck. Shit. There we go. Base. Fuck. The base. Fuck. Tired. Probably need to go to bed soon, but I am 100% starting that other build first. Because we have some interesting things to do with that. Fucks. I hate how they, like, added a fox familiar to it, but just gave it, like, cat poses. It's kind of silly. I don't think there's any... I don't think there's really anything that I could add on to here that would really change much. But we're gonna add a rounded rim. So I think that looks nicer. And we're just gonna go with the rain-drenched precipice of darkness. Just because the nice black base looks nice. There you have it. Draco and Cream. A very interesting duo of polar opposites that really just loved each other. They were the best of friends. They were family to each other. And they just loved and cared for and supported each other. And I really miss playing them. I might get this actually printed at some point. Kinda make it a little bigger, turn it into a small statuette, because this makes me happy to see. I love what Hero Forge has done with being able to put in two different characters. Okay, well, let's Creek, Draco and Creek. Can I not put an ampersand there? Sir? Sir, let me put an ampersand, please. Sir? Fuck. God damn it, motherfucking shit. Don't capitalize the A, you dumb fuck. Draco and Cream. And that's them. Now, I could keep going. I could start the next character. However, I suppose there's a couple things that I could get into here around the house that I probably need to do before I go back to work tomorrow. Now that I'm actually going back to work, which I don't want to do. But maybe I'll start the characters... I'll start the characters next week. I'll see if I can find some time. It might honestly be next Thursday night again. Might do that if I don't have anything going on, which I don't think I do. So yeah, I'll do that next week. That sounds good. It honestly feels really good just to flesh out both of these characters together and just kind of see them in what is a nice dynamic pose. And you know, the whole point of this is that shield, what's really important about that shield is that shield stands taller than Cream. And if you move off over to the side, completely covers her, but leaves Draco's entire backside here completely exposed. Because it doesn't matter what happened to him. As long as Cream was safe, he was happy. And she knew that. And that's why there's the healing spell. Because if something did hit him, if he did get hurt, she'd be there to help him. And there's very little surface area behind him, or on his sides, where she could get hit. Even his axe, his arm, like maybe right up under here, sure. But you move back a little bit, it's a good portion of area where she can't be touched. Sure Pingo, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. I hope that alert tone played. I didn't hear it on my end. I hope I didn't miss any others. But thank you so much. Welcome to the Chaos Crew, my friend. How are you doing this evening? I was actually about to shut off the stream for the night. But just giving a little bit of a little bit of my thoughts on the character. Or the characters that I've got built in here. Not much of a chatter, friend. That's alright. I'm happy you followed. I'm happy you showed your support. Thank you. So, we're gonna call it a stream here. Next week, make sure that's saved. Next week, we will come back with an interesting duo that uses some very peculiar weaponry. It looks like basic stuff, but not so much. Those will be a fun one to... Excuse me. Those will be fun to model out and show off. I'm looking forward to them. So we'll come back to this next Thursday. We'll make a whole new set of characters, and we'll have a good time of it. So I hope to see you then. I also hope you have a wonderful evening, a good morning, a restful night. But as of right now, I'm off. So as always, thank you for joining me tonight and keeping me company and just listening to me ramble about two characters that I absolutely love and absolutely miss having in a game. And of course, welcome to the Chaos Crew. Good night.